Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest. We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it? He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor. I'm going to always make sure I do that first and foremost. We back. We live. See the title. I got something else cooking up later. I told you I'm on these people's helmets. Nothing like a fresh bottle of water. Shout outs to my poets, my writers, my content creators. You know who you are. Much love. Appreciate all you do. Sydney, Chef, Voice, Mia. Like, I just, it's a very extensive group of people, man. Tonight, 11 p.m., I'm doing a late show. I'm coming for everything that's owed to me. I will not be denied. I will not be shadow banned. I will not be silenced by the gods of social media. You got me all the way fucked up. I'm sorry. Yo, yeah, we here. We here. And we about to cook. You know what I'm saying? I got a story time for the good people. I'm about to talk my shit because quite frankly, this is ratchet. But you know, y'all come on social media, y'all want to air out your dirty laundry. You want to get all of these likes and views. And I mean, that's cool if that's what you want to do. But at the same token, don't get upset or offended when somebody decides that they want to use you as a case study for what not to do. Like, if this is the type of woman or man you are looking to be, this is not it. So yeah, we about to cook, you know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe if you're not already. I'm gonna bring this first one up. Look, these are at least 5 to 7 minute videos. All right, we're gonna do a live reaction. This is my first time watching this with you, so you're gonna be hearing what I'm hearing in real time. I'm just gonna give my opinion on it. Now, maybe you see it differently than me. That's cool. It's always up for discussion. I have no problem with that. But one of the things that I enjoy about doing videos like this is that it offers you a perspective that you might not have seen before. And it gives you a chance to humble yourself and realize that there are people who move completely different than you. And people actually think like this and live like this. Some people think it's okay, some people don't. That's why we are here. So, should we get into part one? I think we should. I'll try not to cut in too much, just when I need to. Let's bring this up on the screen. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, part one. Story time on who the fuck did I leave my husband for? Before I play, I just want to say, I swear, some of these drinks I be thinking is fake. Like, why would anybody just get on the internet and tell on themselves like that? You know, I'm gonna reserve my feelings towards this. Let's just jump into the video.
Yeah, I literally get the story up. Like I felt like I was healing still from the shit that I'm about to tell y'all. So here's a story time on who the fuck did I leave my husband for? Okay, let's rewind. 2018, I had lost my dad, and I was in a very vulnerable situation. I was literally in a relationship with my ex-husband. We wasn't married at the time. I had a boyfriend on the side. It just was all fucking bad.
Sorry, sorry. I gotta stop it real quick. I gotta stop it real quick. I ain't judging by a long shot because we done all been here when we were out here doing our thing or whatever. That's your first problem. Your first problem is you had side niggas. You were dealing with multiple people. Now society might say, well, shit, you can do what you want. And you can. You can fuck whoever you want. You can lay down with whoever you want. You want to be a player? You want to be out here in the field? You got every right to do so. But let me ask you a question. When you were out here and you was dealing with your guy that wasn't your husband yet, and you had the other dude, did they know that you were kissing this person in the mouth and kissing that person in the mouth? When you were exchanging bodily fluids with these different people, did they know that they were participating in these activities voluntarily or involuntarily? This is the part of the conversation that people don't want to have and you don't want to be honest about. It's cool to exercise your right as a single woman or a single man. It's cool if you're straight up and saying, look, I'm dealing with multiple people. I'm having protected and unprotected sex with multiple people. I like you, but I'm not really trying to be in anything serious. We can have fun, but I do want you to know for safety reasons that this is what I got going on. Are you okay with that? But you're not going to get that. Most people are not that honest. I had to stop it real quick just because you already starting this off horrible. Nothing good can come from that shit right there alone. Let me get back to it though.
Had a man at home with 2 kids, and I would periodically fly in and out of Michigan to California to see my boyfriend. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge. But anyways, so I had met this dude. We're gonna call him B. So how I met this guy, he would like literally slide up on my stories. He would comment on my story. Even at one point when I was planning my wedding or planning my bachelorette party, he would say little stuff like, "Oh, I want to invite me, make sure you invite." Typical internet nigga, right? So eventually, before I had got married, like I pulled down on him, you feel me? We'll chill and we'll talk and we'll vibe. Now mind y'all, B ain't the cutest, B ain't the slimmest, B barely got money, but B is cool. So I was literally y'all.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm like this should be hilarious to me. Why? One, because you really brought this shit to the internet, man. You brought it to the internet and you're expecting people not to judge you or look at you a certain type of way. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to do it in the same breath. So you was fucking with this man up until you was getting ready to get married. Yeah, homeboy ain't know. You ain't had that conversation with him. Already you're disqualified. You ain't no real woman, man. Ain't nothing boss about that. Ain't nothing independent about that whatsoever. That's corny. That's tacky. That's tasteless. It's disrespectful to your soon be husband. The dude that you was fucking with, you just said, I'm gonna address this too. You just said this nigga ain't even had no money. But I guess what we're going to overlook is the fact that despite the fact that he didn't have money, he had a characteristic about him that made him sexually attractive to you. You saw something in him that drew you to him. Maybe it was his charisma. Maybe he was taller. Maybe he was more built. Maybe he was aggressive. Maybe he was more street. I don't fucking know. Maybe he knew how to color within the lines of a fucking coloring book. I don't know. But this is the shit that's scary about dealing with men and women who do not operate from a space of correction. They're messy, they're reckless, they don't care about nobody else but themselves. And you bring others along within your bullshit. And then 10 years later, you're doing story times, doing interviews, look for sympathy. Nah, ain't nothing cool about this. Nothing. All red flags. I would have had more respect for you if you gave your soon to be ex husband the option, let him decide if he want to do that. Nah, that's not what happened here. You know why? Because you wanted to sleep with a random number of people. You're horny. You're bored. You're curious. You still want to be out here in the world. You had no real intentions on taking that man serious yet. But you weren't being honest with him, yourself, or anybody involved. And this is usually how we end up getting people bitter, filled with STDs, locked up, or dead. Because people don't want to be honest and keep it a buck about who they are. Be who you are, man. I got a video dropping this week. You'll see what I'm talking about. Let's get back to the video, though.
Fighting for my life. Like, I was going through it with my boyfriend, and I was going through it with my boyfriend at the house. So he was like a listening ear. You feel me? In the beginning, he was never my type. Like, if he would have never like found me on Facebook, I probably would have never looked his way. So fast forward, we started to get a little closer. You feel me? Like, I'm pulling up on him every day. I'm going through stuff. He like the only person that I can confide in. Shit, at one point, I had flew to California, and he picked me up from the airport from seeing my boyfriend. That's how cool we was. Now, mind you, he liked me a lot, and I just wasn't feeling it. Like, he wasn't like the man that I was dating, and I just didn't want him to be like a part of the chaos that I had going on. So I would literally tell him all the time, like, you know, like, let me get out of these situations before I call myself trying to lay up with a new man. Like, I already got enough shit going on. I had literally, y'all, just lost my dad. So my mind everywhere. I'm making all these erratic decisions. All type of bullshit is happening. My car got stolen. I'm fighting my boyfriend that I got at home. I'm raising 2 kids. It was just a lot. So like I said, eventually we started to teeter tatter with, you know what I'm saying, with the vibes and shit. And so I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I ended up giving that man a little piece of cat. I did. So eventually we just like kind of distanced ourselves from each other, and then I ended up really getting married. That really didn't work out. We had our own problems before we even got married, and it just didn't work out. Um
These are adults. These are parents. These are grown men and women who have driver licenses. They work 9-to-5 jobs. They give advice out to your nieces and nephews. These are the same men and women that you hear every day talking about some Martin Luther King shit. Y'all be the same ones trying to talk to somebody or talk down to somebody or judge somebody or whatever. The same people. Why would you get married to somebody you're already having problems with? Toxicity is a hell of a drug. You can be addicted to somebody and think and confuse it with love. You can be attached to a person and think that that attachment is based on similar ideologies until you really get down to the core root of it and peel back the layers and discover that you are far exceedingly different than you could have ever imagined. You were dealing with a guy going through all this stuff with your father, on top of dealing with him. You already had mental stuff going on, all this turmoil going on within yourself, and you thought that it made sense to still get married. Not to mention the fact that you was stepping out on this dude with another one, spending time with a whole nother man and all that shit. You do realize nobody feels sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you at all. Choices. We all have choices. Common sense would have said, let me step back. Maybe I need to be by myself. Maybe I am going to blow this out of proportion. Maybe I might create a situation that I might not possibly be able to come back from. Maybe I need to shut my mouth, close my legs. You went on ahead and got married anyway. For real.
Cut it out.
Yeah. But we're human though. We'll still like somebody and still we'll like a person. We know they ain't shit for us and still fuck with them anyway, just off the strength that we still have some type of attraction to them. When you're attracted to people, sometimes that shit kind of overlooks the bad shit. You'll just be like, shit. Physically, this is my type, man. I get turned on by. I can have fun with this. All that. You'll ignore every red flag if a person look a certain way. That's the mind of someone who isn't spiritually growing. Your development is still under construction. Let's proceed.
Fast forward. At that point, I don't really want to be with my husband no more because I felt like I made a bad decision. So, like I said, it seemed like every day me and this dude was getting closer and closer. Me and B was getting closer and closer. Like, he was really cool, or so I thought. So eventually, in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, me and my husband is not gonna work. I'm ready to file for a divorce already. I'm done. Y'all, when I say this man was everything that I had needed at that moment, he was literally everything that I had needed at that moment. Me and my husband had broke up and he just was around more. You feel me? Like this man was literally, y'all, on the phone with me while I went downtown to file for a divorce. So every day after that, me and this man was together every day. Mind y'all, he lived down the street from me. Literally every day coming to my to me. It was like he knew what to do to get me on his good side. So here's where the red flags came in. I want to say like June, July, I started to notice that he would like lie about little shit that didn't matter. Like the man would say, "Oh, I'm going out of town with my cousins." The man would literally be out of town with a whole nother woman. And during that time, like I was real lost and I just didn't want to be in Michigan no more. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm moving to Atlanta. I'm getting the fuck out of Michigan. I don't want to be here no more. So of course, he started to do little shit that I just really wasn't paying attention to because like I was vulnerable. My mind was gone. I wasn't in the right headspace. So during that time, I had to move out of the place that I was living in, right? Never thought nothing of it, never second guessed it. He helped me move. I left. So during that period of time, I got pregnant. Now, at first, I wasn't gonna say nothing to the man because he's not your normal cup of tea. Like he was already giving me weird vibes, but I'm like, okay, whatever. I ended up telling him. Anybody who knows, especially a woman, if you want to find out what type of man you're dealing with, just tell him that you're pregnant. All of his flaws are gonna come to light. Y'all, when I say this man literally flipped on me, and like I said, it still didn't register. You feel me? I told him I was pregnant during the day. By the night, he was with a whole nother female. And we wasn't really together. So it was like I could trip, but it was like, for what? You feel me? He was like taking me back and forth to work, right? So of course, like he still know that I'm pregnant or whatever. But when I say I just started to see like a whole different side of this man, I had started to see a whole different side.
Let me go ahead and stop it. Uh, couple things I want to address. First and foremost, what the fuck did you just say? Did you just say his red flags. He's a problem. Your spidey senses are tingling. Something isn't adding up. You do know that you were stepping out on your husband with him, right? You do remember that portion of the story where you were flying from here to there, how you weren't attracted to this man, but you were still fucking around with him. Notice how she never, ever said that her husband or her dude at the time was a really horrible person. You got to take into account it's only one side to the story as well. We don't know what type of dude he was. We don't know if her husband was a cheater or anything, but she never said he was. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, going back a couple minutes, she said that he was different than the guy that she was stepping out on. See, her husband, I'm going to tell you something. Her husband had things that made her comfortable enough to go through with the marriage. She might not have necessarily wanted to marry him, but there were things that he had established within his own life that gave her access to a lifestyle that she probably didn't possess on her own. And so it just seems like she used her husband for housing. She used her husband, for the convenience of having him. But she wasn't really all the way in. And then this is the shit that be blowing me, right? Because if you're a man or a woman and you're confused about who you are as a person, this is the type of shit you do. This is exactly the type of shit she do. Exactly. A fucking clown. These are the type of women that will make it look like they're the victim, but the whole time they're the fucking suspect. Imagine her husband told his side of the story. And he showed you how she was. He pulled up receipts. We'll never know. Why? Because most men don't give a shit enough to talk about this. We'll deal with whatever comes with the aftermath and go on with our life. Level up, go through whatever we got to deal with in private, and then keep it pushing. The only time men will come forward is if they have to defend themselves in court, or because their name is being tarnished, it's costing them money, or their reputation is being destroyed in the public eye. That's the only time men is going to step up and really talk about shit like this. But she's so thirsty for attention that she has to come on the internet and reveal all of this, even though it's making you look like a fucking idiot. You look foolish. Why would anybody trust you? You stepped out on your husband. You never said he cheated on you, he beat you, he was financially destitute, he was a horrible communicator. I didn't hear none of that. But you still decided to step out on him. Why? Because you weren't invested in him 100%. When you don't know yourself and you're confused and you're not really truly invested in your development overall, you are susceptible to inviting things into your life that is going to be dangerous. Now what? Now look at where you at. You're dealing with a dude that you wasn't even into the dude for real. You ain't even want him. But he found a way to talk you into interest. You know, there's the less attractive people who know how to use their words to get you. There are people who are wealthy that are unattractive that can get you because you're greedy and you want money. So you'll still fuck a nigga if you got money and he's ugly. As long as you got the money, you'll still do it. There's women who will sleep with you just because you're confident. There are women that'll sleep with you just because you dress good and you smell good. There's women that'll sleep with you just because the woman that's got you, you don't like her. So you'll sleep with him to get back at her for having you. And you don't even be one of them. Women are fucking nasty, man. I keep saying that shit. I'm not saying all of y'all, but a lot of y'all bitches is fucking disgusting. Y'all be trying to sit up here and act like y'all innocent and shit. No, you're not. Stop it. And you got the nerve to have some type of. Let me go ahead and finish this because we still got a whole part 2.
Didn't want to be around me. At one point he had dropped me off where I was staying at, dragged me out of the car. And I just still couldn't understand, like, well, what the hell did I do that was so bad for you to like treat me like this, right? Because these are signs that I never seen from the beginning. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. During that altercation, his window had got broke. It had got shattered. And I want to say I had like stole his phone or something crazy like that. So eventually I had the procedure and it was done and over with, whatever. So I ended up getting some court papers in the mail. And basically he was trying to press charges on me. Once again, I'm still not thinking nothing of it because I'm just like, I'm toxic, but I'm not as toxic as I used to be back then. So me, I go to court.
Oh, you're
Fuck
just
it.
a
It is
little
what
bit.
it is. He had his dad in there with him or whatever because I guess the car was in his name. So eventually they just ended up dropping the charges. I don't know if he like got his dad to drop the charges, but they ended up dropping the charges. Yeah, when I got out of court, that man was sitting right at my house. Right at my house. Now, granted, I did have to replace the phone. Granted, I did have to replace the window. But like I said, he was still at my house. I believe I was just looking like for companionship or whatever, or I just didn't want to be by myself. That was like the first time ever that I had to like literally be by myself, not have a man in my house. I don't know. I really can't tell y'all why I kept taking this man back because it gets worse. He still was doing like little weird shit or whatever, but like I said, I just was overlooking all that. Eventually, we was still like messing around and we was still like starting to see each other again every day. So while my ex-husband or soon to be ex-husband was in jail, I was just like confused. I was still like trying to figure out my life, figure out if I really wanted to be with him or be with him. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, he really, it's like he knew what to say. Like it's like he knew what to do and what to do to keep me around him. Because if I knew what I knew today, baby, I would have never gave this man a chance. Never.
You know what the harsh reality of it is? If I got to be one to say it, cool. Your side dude, he knew you was vulnerable. He knew you ain't have confidence. He knew you had a low self-esteem. He knew you was for the street. Maybe he even knew you had a dude. I'm just at the point where he knew you had to do. Let's just say he already knew it. All right. So he knows you got to do. Now, if I'm the side dude, right? I know you got to do. I don't respect you. I don't. I fuck you. I don't respect you though. Why? My parents my mother, my grandparents. Those type of women are the ones that I respect. I don't identify you to any of that. You are for the street. You don't have respect for your husband or your boyfriend. For you to step out on him with me, I'll still sleep with you. I'll still sleep with you, but you're not about to get wife treatment. You're not about to get husband treatment. You're not about to be treated like a fucking Amazonian. You ain't nothing but something that I can get on the side, man. Dudes be knowing who you are based on how you treat yourself and how you treat other people. So if you're presenting yourself to be a 304, you're going to get treated like a 304. And on top of that, niggas be so smooth with it, we'll let you think that we dumb. We'll let you think that you getting out on us. Go ahead. Go ahead, player. You got it. You multitasking between two men. Okay. All I'm trying to do is get my nut off. Fuck you think this is? I don't really fuck with you like that. You don't even fuck with your own self like that. You don't even respect your own self like that. You getting ran through by two different dudes. And you just admitted that you toxic. And you just admitted that you messy and all that. That man know you vulnerable. You weak. You weak-minded. It's easy to talk to you. All I gotta do is gas you up and tell you what you want to hear and listen to your bullshit and pretend that I can relate to you. I understand. I understand. Just hold my hand. I'll take care of you. I'll make sure that you're okay. Man, y'all swear y'all be finessing. Then you realize the grass is not greener on the other side. Welcome to reality. This has to be video 2,864,245. Do you know how many times we done seen this story? Yeah. Hold on. We got part 2 coming up. Then, matter of fact, let me play the rest of this. We're gonna go to part 2.
Living a double life. Like, he would be with me and then he would leave my house and live a whole different life that I knew nothing about. Not to mention all the women that was like messaging me, terrorizing me, taunting me, trying to bully me or be the bigger bully. The shit had got so crazy. Okay, y'all, I'm running out of time. Let me know if y'all want a part 2, because I promise y'all, it gets crazier.
The way, the way she's saying this shit is like it's supposed to be fun. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Let's do this. Let's get this off of the screen. Let's go over. I want to bring up part 2. Shall we go into part 2? I think we should go into part 2. There it is, right there. Before I click on that, I want to say something, and I'm just trying to be honest. When we live our life out of order, there is never any balance. It's always going to be in disarray. You didn't have no business dealing with anyone. You should have been focused on your family, healing from the loss of your loved ones, building yourself up, taking care of yourself first. We get so needy and dependent and secular and so worldly that we forget the more you pour into the world, the more it's going to shit on you and spit you out. Everything that you're looking for in a guy, you were looking in the wrong places. You weren't even whole yourself. You can't be a complete woman getting ran through by multiple men. You are not complete. There's no fucking way in the world you're going to convince me of that. I don't care if you say you having a hot girl summer. I don't care if you say this is what feminism said that we can do. We're allowed to get ran through and get multiple nuts put on our chest and down our throat. It's cool, it's fun, it's okay. Sexual liberty. I don't want to hear none of that shit. When you're mixing your spiritual energies with different people and you're dealing with folks that you have no business dealing with, you will always get met with what you are getting yourself involved with. Shall we get to part 2? I think we should get to part 2. I want to see how messy this shit get.
And to kind of like piggyback off of part 1, when I say B wasn't like my normal cup of tea, like he was a cornball, like he lived with his mama. He literally just wasn't.
Damn. Hold up. Where is it? Where is it?
What's that? You fucking idiots! What's that? You fucking idiots! You're all fucking idiots and you fucking suck!
All right, I had to do it. That's another one of the problems that we have right now in the society. He said it. Corny. What is corny? Because what you're doing right now ain't really no different. What you're telling us right here is that you didn't have no self-respect for your body. And you allowed multiple people to use you as a disposal for excrement, excretion. You were a cum dump. And on top of that, mentally, you weren't even in the right headspace. You were so low on yourself that you allowed your physical presence and your very essence to be subdued by someone that you say is corny. So what was your guy? What was your husband? Who was he? What kind of character did he have? Because clearly you married him. Like everything about this shit is like, damn, bad decision. I'm going through shit with my husband before he's my husband, but I still marry him, even though I don't want to be married to him because I got all these problems with him. But I want to go out and still fuck with other people, even though I'm not happy with the person that I'm with in the first place. But I want to go fuck with somebody that I think is corny because they don't fit the typical things that I'm. All this shit is a fucking red flag. You are a walking red flag. And I say that with all the love in the world. I didn't even get 10 seconds into part 2 yet. Y'all need to stop. The dudes that y'all be fucking over be the ones that you need. Now, based on this ain't that. You're probably only yo, hold on. Let me go ahead and play this shit.
Like, and everybody was calling the man slow. And like I said, I was so fucking blindsided. I'm like, y'all hating. No, the man was really slow, y'all. So yeah, story time on who the fuck did I leave my husband? So y'all, now it's the pandemic and now we're on lockdown. Me and
Speak
B, we
slow, but you
still
was
vibing
fucking.
out or whatever. But eventually my husband was gonna have to come home. Now, don't come back to my house. But my mom, like, that's your husband. Like, people is out here getting sick, they dying. You can't have them on the street. So, me being the cancer that I am, I let the man come back. We still vibing, y'all. So, we ended up going to, me and B, we ended up taking a trip to um, California. Y'all, we had a blast. We was sitting at the top of the West End. Baby, I was looking like that girl, all that. When I say I can't make none of this shit up, soon as our soon as my trip was over and I made it back to Detroit, I can't make none of this shit up. This man had flew another bitch out immediately. I couldn't even get my bags from baggage claim, and it was another bitch boarding a flight to California. And I just still to this day could not understand why the fuck is this man like this? Why did he do all these things? We arguing, we not seeing eye to eye. I'm clubbing, I'm outside, I'm just doing me. I'm trying to find something to suppress this. So I'm so far gone. My husband, he like, I can't do this shit no more. I can't do the back and forth. So my husband packs up his car and he gets the fuck on and he goes to Atlanta. He left me, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, part of me died a little bit that day. It,
Ladies. Let me pull up to the big screen real quick. Hold on a second. Look, I don't know what the simps on social media told you. I don't know what Kendra G and them told you. You cannot treat somebody like shit, and then when they decide to get the fuck on, be upset because they decided they no longer want to be treated like shit. From part one all the way to now, all you have done is talk about the other dude and how the other dude is corny and how the other dude is a smooth talker and how the other dude did this and he was fucking with other females and he was doing it in your face and this, that, and the third. But yet still, you were still partaking in that. All you were doing is shitting on your husband. And he decided, oh, this I can't do it. I can't do it. Just admit that you were a fucking horrible ass wife, a horrible ass woman. You were messy, irresponsible, negligent. You didn't care about that man's feelings. You didn't care about anything that he was going through. You going out doing you. This man trying to be a husband to you, and you shitting on him every opportunity you get. You think any man that watches this video or has watched it is looking at you like you're walking down the aisle one day? We almost through. I just think it's funny how y'all want grace and mercy for your decisions. Men can't get the same grace for theirs. Y'all don't even like giving men their flowers for being decent people. You call them corny. They corny. Or, they ain't in the street enough. I don't know. This shit that we hold up. Let's get this back up here.
like to Atlanta, he was working. Like, damn, maybe, this might be the move. You feel me? I kid y'all not. This man, my husband, wanted to fly me to Atlanta to go pick up a house. So me and my kids can come to Atlanta. When I was not going for it, he like, no, I don't want you to go. I'm like, what you want me to do? Like, is anything gonna change? Like, what's gonna get better? Y'all, I did not get on that flight. And I feel like that was the worst mistake of my life. I felt like at that moment, that's when I should have left and never turned back around and never dealt with this man again. But I did. So now it's 2021. And me and B, we still vibing. We still vibing, still being toxic. Y'all, some money comes up missing. $20,000 worth of money. And I ain't gonna lie. He played it so crazy with me. Me and my kids beat the brakes off this man. We dragged this man from the gates of heaven, literally. Beat the brakes off him. The man had the nerve to go to the police station, and you think that I didn't follow behind him? I did. Because what the fuck is you finna tell these people? What the fuck are you finna tell these people? Y'all, he had the police up there looking at him like he was crazy. He telling them, oh, I don't know her. She's nuts. I have a girlfriend. How is it that you have a girlfriend? And literally 3 weeks prior to this situation, we were in Miami. So they, it's just some bullshit. So eventually, y'all, I do got on that flight to Atlanta. But by that time, shit, my husband, he was already dipping and dapping in what he was doing. He was already, you know what I'm saying, exploring. So it was just like where it would have been 3-4 months ago, it wasn't there. But I like we was still everybody was trying with everybody shit. So I ended up coming back to Michigan and B still being B. B still vibing with me, he vibing with everybody, baby. He's nasty. But that's another story for another day. My husband, he's still in Atlanta. I'm in Detroit. I like so like he was on my husband was on my flight benefits. So whether it was a birthday, whether it was the kid's birthday, whether it was our anniversary, he was still flying in to like take me out to eat, do things for me, buy me gifts and stuff like that. But we was so far connected and we was just giving life to a dead situation. It was horrible. Eventually me and the husband just got into it so bad and we just really disconnected after that. He ended up going back to Atlanta and I was still over here in Michigan fighting for my motherfucking life. Y'all, I was working at Delta when I say this man had made my life a living hell. B had made my life a living hell. Only because when we both had got hired into Delta, he failed his drug test. So it was like he was mad. And that's when I was like started to like see what the fuck was going on. Like, damn, this man don't really like me too much. He in competition with me. He don't want me to do nothing good for myself. Like if he can't be a part of it or he can't have a little piece of the pie, he don't give a fuck what happened. Y'all, I get knocked up again. I get knocked up again. And this man stressed me out for the whole 6 months I worked there. I cannot make none of this up. It was fucking horrible. And guess where B was at? Vibing with the bitches and at home with his mama. So eventually shit started or whatever. Like we fighting as much. Um, I don't know. Like I think I had whooped his ass so much during the time I was working for the jail. I'm going to go to jail. Literally, y'all, to the point where the man had me so infuriated to where I headbutted him and bust his head open. The man had stitches in his face. I can't make it up. Because why the fuck are you still playing with me? I've let you play with me these I kind of like fall back because I'm like, okay, P, you gonna kill this man. So just stop. Y'all, I
Ma'am, you got every bit of what you asked for. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. What I like to believe is that this video is just you humbling yourself. And you're coming up here to make a confessional about how ridiculous you were. Every party in this story, I got a headache. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is why the T app exists. This is exactly why the T app exists. This is why there's so many broken homes. This is why there's so many misled and misunderstood conversations. This is why people don't know who they can trust. This is why we're confused about what something is supposed to look like, what it's not supposed to. This is if you wanted to know what you're not supposed to have in a person versus what you're supposed to have in a person, this is that in a nutshell. What were all the problems that you were having at home with your husband, the one that was trying to put you in the house? What was going on there before you got married? How was it so bad that you decided to step out in the first place? How did we even get to that point? The husband should have gotten a divorce. You should have gotten a divorce. Frankly, you should have never got married anyway. The fact that you kept on going back and forth between the two tells me, like, right now, as I'm listening to it, you're not okay. And you're still not okay. I'm not even sure how old this video is. There's no way you're completely healed from any of that. If the story is actually true, no way you can possibly be in a better space than you was. Have y'all heard how much bullshit came out of her mouth?
Built up inside of me. It was like my soul was just full of fucking rage. So we doing okay now. Like the husband got him a new girlfriend. Um, Me and him, we doing okay, I guess, or whatever. We doing better than what we was because I just stopped putting my hands on him. And so I'm telling him, like, like we need to start like making some shit happen. Like, I'm not gonna keep being with you. You still staying with your mama. You can't keep a job. Like, why can't you get it together? Right. So I'm telling the man, like, okay, well, we can start looking for a place and what I'm saying, like, get some shit going. So he agrees, but during the time that he agrees, y'all, karma starts to bite him in the ass. She starts to get real around this motherfucker. Do you hear me? One night we go to the bar and we vibing out or whatever, and boyfriend number two walks in. Y'all remember boyfriend number two from part one? He walks in now. Anybody who knows boyfriend number two knows that he's fucking crazy. Y'all, I'm in the club, I'm vibing out, I'm feeling myself. Your girl done had a couple shots of Hennessy, and this man walks in. And to kind of like piggyback off of part one, when I say B wasn't like my normal cup of
That was pretty much the story. Part 1 and 2. That was all of it. Uh, you want better, do better. If you treat yourself like you don't have value, the rest of the world will. You want quality? Treat yourself like it. Read, pray, get counseling, get a fellowship, surround yourself with positive people. Eliminate the things that are toxic. Eliminate the things that are distracting you. Eliminate the things that are causing you to stray the path that you're supposed to be on. Whatever you do, stop taking advice from, well, look at that and then say, shit, nah, I don't want to have that on my resume. Nah, I'm good. I got a headache just listening to her talk. It's like, damn, you just kept on going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You asking for this. Maybe you feel like you deserve it. Maybe this is your karma. Maybe this is punishment. I don't know. Stay the hell away from me. That's all I'm gonna say about that shit. Stay the fuck away from me. You gotta listen to the way a person talk, walk, think, their hobbies, what they listen to, what they're invested in, what their time goes to, who their friends are, what they entertain themselves with on a regular basis, who inspires them. You gotta pay attention to all that. Or you'll end up with somebody like her. And I don't think any level-headed man wants to deal with that. And if you're a woman out here and you think like her, get you some counseling immediately. Stop messing around with these dudes, man. Even though y'all on the same wavelength, but you want to get out of that. You want to escape the matrix. Get from up under that bondage. The type of men that she was dealing with, they operate from the same spiritual level that she's on. Them demons that got a hold of her and them, they don't even realize that's what's going on. That's why you see there's a subset of men and women who always stay in rotation with each other. They always deal with the same type. You can believe me, you can ignore it. It is what it is, but I appreciate y'all for hanging out. I'll be back later on. I got a late night show that I'm going to be doing. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Have a blessed week. It's about to be a very long one, hopefully a productive one. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Make sure you lock in. I will see some of you later. If I don't, I appreciate you for tagging in. Let's get it. Oh, let me solid though, if you don't mind.
What's the goddamn button?
Appreciate you.